The following program is rated G and is suitable for viewing by all ages.
Hi friends, and welcome back. I am in the kitchen of Rose Sexsmith, and it's so exciting. She let me in her house. She has let me in before, so I think you knew what's coming, right?
Yes, I trust you.
Oh, thank you.
And you.
I do come in. Yeah, she's talking to Renee. It's right over there. Yeah, and other times when we're looking around, there might be some dog things going on, right? You've got your dog,
Molly.
Your dog Molly, and then there's another dog here that looks just exactly like Molly.
My grand dog, Hugo.
Oh, I've got a grand dog too.
Do you?
Yeah, her name is Harriet, and she's like this tall.
Harriet.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. I almost adopted this little dog in Winnipeg, and we were going to call him Ozzy, so it'd be Ozzy and Harriet.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. I think only some people, that's like a litmus test for how old are you.
How old are you?
Renee, does Ozzy and Harriet mean anything to you?
No.
She's shaking her head no. Well, so she fails the test, and we pass.
Excuse me.
Fun.
Yeah.
So I wanted to hear some stories about your life as a restaurateur.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because you've had project after project after project.
Well, and you know, it's so funny, Wendy, because I never really thought that was where my life was going to go. I was a server at the Packing House Pub. I don't know if you've ever been there, but I was a server at the Packing House Pub from 1979, I think, to 1989. Okay. And my goal was to get out of the bar business and get out of being a server. But instead, in 1989, we bought a bar up at Big White. You might remember that. You might know that. And we ended up calling it Roses on the Ridge. That was education. I had gone from one side of the bar to the other side of the bar.
Okay.
And it was completely different. It was amazing. But yeah, 1989, we knew nothing. We had no clue. Do you want to know a little story about this?
100%.
Okay. So my brother, my husband, and I buy this bar up at Big White. We had no clue. I was a server. That was our that was our only education that we came with. Wow. And so we get this bar, and there was a shuffleboard table in the bar. And so we put it up for sale, and these guys that owned a bar up at Williams Lake called and said, "Oh, we'd love to come and buy your shuffleboard table."
Okay.
I'm like, okay. So they came, super good guys, sat at the bar, and I was the bartender, and my brother was doing everything that you could think of. And this one of the brothers from Williams Lake said to me, "Rose, can I give you a bit of advice?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "On Monday, phone FDBD, which is the Federal Bank, FDBD, Federal Development Bank, whatever. Anyway, that. So he said, tell them what you've done and tell them you need help." So I did. And he said, because if you don't, you're going to end up losing this place.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Wendy, he was right. Honestly, he was right. So I did exactly what he said. And one day I phoned, and they sent this fella named Stan, I remember his first name, over, and he told us what to do. Wow. He got us a point of sales, with a kitchen printer, which we had, up till then, we were like writing orders. Who can read this? Everybody's chicken feed, these poor guys in the kitchen. And the poor guys in the kitchen was my brother, who had never had any,
Your poor
any,
brother.
I'm a little, Anyway, so my brother is doing everything. I'm doing what I can, and my husband does what he can. And tons of beautiful friends that came and helped us along.
Goodness.
But anyway, this guy hired us a chef, a proper chef, got us a proper point of sales.
Wow.
He told us, yes, he said, do this, do this, do this, do this. We did, and he saved our lives.
Oh my goodness.
He really did. He saved,
Wow.
he saved us. I had to tell you another story about Big White. So there we are, we're in the swing of things, we're doing great. And it's New Year's Eve, 1989, going into 1990.
Big moment.
Nobody but Big White had snow. Whistler didn't have snow, Mammoth didn't have snow, no one had snow, everybody was at Big White. The mountain was overflowing. It was like, there was not a square inch to be had anywhere. And 10:30 at night, the power goes off on the whole mountain.
Oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Honestly, that was so, we had no clue what we were doing. And then this happened. And anyway, lucky for us, we had fed all our people.
Okay.
So it really actually turned into a fun, people brought out their guitars, we lit candles, and it was really quite awesome.
Oh, that sounds
so that's how we brought in
amazing.
1990 in the dark.
In the dark. Was that the beginning of you moving, sort of merging your musical world
So-
and the food thing?
Well,
or
music.
hospitality?
So music. When I worked at the Packing House Pub, I was always humming, singing the lyrics that I knew of a bazillion songs, but never knowing the whole song, and humming, singing, whistling, and so. The man that owned it, one day he shows up and, oh no, first I'll tell you. So he used to hire this guy from Kamloops, Dick Adams, his name was, and we used to have every Saturday afternoon, we'd have this Star of the Week show. And Dick would be the backup guy for everybody. And it was lined up, it was so amazing, it was so successful. So my boss says to me, Bud Mooney was his name, love that man. Anyway, he says, I want you to learn 3 songs and come in on Sunday and Dick's gonna practice with you, because though in those days it was before Expo 89 or whatever it was, or Expo 87, or do you remember Expo 86? Whatever. Whenever it was before Expo, we had to close on Sundays. Then Expo happened, and because of Expo, they started opening Sundays. Everybody started opening Sundays. So, at that time it was closed on Sundays. So I went in with Dick, and we learned my 3 songs, and I practiced. And then Bud came in one day and he goes, I bought this machine, I want you to learn how to use it, and we're gonna have Sing Along with Rose on Monday nights. And it was the first karaoke machine in North America.
Oh my goodness.
He bought this karaoke machine. So anyway, it was so awesome. And that's where I actually started to really sing out loud, was the Star of the Week show, and then the karaoke. So then when we went up to Big White, I said to my brother and my husband, let's buy a karaoke machine. Well, I'll tell you, that is where those things belong. Unbelievable. It was so awesome. It brought people together. And our bar was in a building called Das Hofbrauhaus, which means meeting place.
Okay.
So it was so awesome because people would see each other on the run. They'd say, meet you at Rose's, see you at Rose's. Or they'd meet at karaoke night for the first time, and then the next night let's show up together, and they'd put their tables together. It was awesome. And then my husband had an insulation company at the time, and the fellas next to him said, hey, want to get into a new business? They're building a hotel downtown, and they're only accepting that they wanted to do a service station, like a gas pumps, and marina and that kind of thing. And they said, but they're only taking quote bids on the pub, the restaurant, the marina, the gas pumps, and everything else as one. So we'll join forces, and we'll make an offer to them. for everything, but you guys take the pub and restaurant. We want the rest of the stuff.
Oh.
So, keep touching me anyway. And so, so you know what? Time came, and they called us and said, "We sold our marina." There's no marina there, is there?
Yeah. No, there isn't.
There's no gas pumps there. They said, "We sold
Certainly
our
not.
part of the business, so you guys are on your own with the pub and restaurant." So
Wow.
we were on our own with the pub and restaurant.
In downtown
In
waterfront.
downtown waterfront, never in a million years. And when my husband took me to that spot, all I could think of was that movie, The Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. But never in a million years, ever, Wendy, did I ever think it was going to be as successful and as busy
Yeah.
and popular as it was. Never.
Wow. And you imported the name pretty much from the Big White.
We had to.
Oh,
we just
yeah.
had to
Because you already had a buzz?
Exactly.
Okay.
Everybody knew.
Yeah.
Everybody knew Roses from up there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So say the name. We haven't said it yet.
Roses Waterfront Pub downtown at the Delta, but the original one was Roses on the Ridge up at Big White.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice, very
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, when we moved here, that was the place where everyone went.
Oh, so
yeah,
good.
it was like, I didn't know where anything was or where do people gather here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then, go to Roses, go to Roses.
what a blessing.
Yeah.
It was kind of like something for everybody because it was a great lunch place. It was a great go play pool in the afternoon
Yeah.
place, hang out with some friends. And then at 9 o'clock, it turned into a club.
Yeah,
It was just an amazing,
yeah.
I loved it so much.
And you always had sort of local, like Kelowna and Okanagan kind of music celebrity people in there. Like I walk through and there's like, oh.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my
They
goodness.
probably did the same thing to
I'm in
you.
the same room.
I felt the same way a lot of times.
Isn't it exciting?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And then you get to know these folks and they're just like
They're just
lovely people like
yeah,
everybody.
Like everybody, that's right. No, it was a blessing, that place. I'll tell you, two guys that worked up at Big White with us, two bartenders, came down and worked down here, and they retired a couple of years before we sold our business. But one of the girls started on the day we opened, and she was still there on the day we left, 25 years.
Oh my goodness.
Linda.
Linda.
Tall, blonde.
Okay.
And then Nan, if you ever met her, she has a British accent. She was there from a year after we opened until we closed.
Okay.
We had Irene in the office. Without her, we would have died. Without without the people that worked there, what would we have been? We would have been the same as anybody and anything, but it's the people that make the place. Our staff. We sold Roses for 1 year, and their business dropped.
Oh, because the staff left?
Because a lot of the staff left. And when we bought it back a year later, everybody came back and sales just went back to where they were. Because it's the people that make the place. Yes, location is freaking brilliant, and that location was like none other,
Oh, yeah.
but it's the people. And we're only as good as the people around us, and boy, I had some good people around me. Holy.
Now, one of the things I've always appreciated about you, so moving slightly from restaurant, I want to see what comes out of your head, because there's always something interesting coming out. You've been able to take events in your life and things that you've seen and been a part of and kind of extrapolate out some wisdom out of that. Like this is like a nugget of things that everybody would benefit from knowing. Like coming out of, let's say, specifically pub owning, like being in the, or specifically the hospitality business. What would you say that you learned as a way of being in the world that would be good for me to know? Or for Renee over there. She's young, shapeable.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Isn't she?
I think, boy, there's so much. So I hardly ever drink. I've never ever been a drinker. My body just doesn't
like it.
Doesn't like it. And truth be known, it killed my marriage. And so I used to say to God, why am I in this business? Why am I in why am I making a living out of what's killing my marriage, what hurts so many other people, and it's not me.
Right.
And God said to me, it's because it's the best place for you to connect with people. And that is, we never know when what we're going to say is going to influence someone, or what they're going to say or do is going to influence us. And working at the Packing House Pub, I can't tell you how many people have said to me over the years, oh, I'll always remember you said this, or I'll always remember, you know, this happened. And honestly, Wendy, it's not me. When I hear these things, I just think, that's God.
Wow.
Because this is what my heart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beautiful. We always make each other cry too. You should know that. You should really know that.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to cry.
So, as they say in Thailand, same but different. We are all the same but different.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Just keep being you. Just keep being you.
Yeah, everybody else is taken, right?
That's right. That's right. Just keep, I don't know if you saw Gabor Mate, but
yes, were you there?
Yes, and when he said about people dying, saying their only regret was not living their real authentic life, not being themselves. And that's where I think that's the easiest thing for us to be, is ourselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
because masking takes work.
Yes, and they say if you really want to know who yourself is, live alone for a while, because you will soon find out who you are. What you do in your home is who you really are. That's your real character. What you did in a closet is your real character.
Yeah,
it's
that's the
not
you
who
actually are.
You know, exactly.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of afraid that when I'm on my own, I turn into Kermit the Frog.
And you do what?
I don't know. I just get so excited. Like I was saying to...
But that's so awesome! Everything's contagious.
Everything's
excited.
so exciting. Yeah, well, I was saying to
love
Rob that you were going to be a guest this week, and he's like, "Oh, how are you feeling about that?" And I'm like, like very Kermity.
I love that. I love that. The Tao of the Muppets.
Yes. We could write a whole book on philosophy learned from.
Yes, exactly.
Kermie had
yeah.
He was a very good host.
He really was. And it's not easy being green.
It isn't.
No.
Having to spend each day the color of the leaves.
Yes.
I wonder how many lines we can remember from that.
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow.
Anyway.
So when did you finally, so you sold it, you bought it back, and then you sold it again.
We did.
And when was that? Did you buy it like 3 times or 2 times? You owned
well,
it?
we built that building.
Okay.
And we opened Rose's first, and a year later we opened Coyotes upstairs. And that was 1993. And then in 1996, we sold Rose's, just the business, for 1 year, and we bought it back 1 year exactly to the day later. And then we sold everything, the building, the business, everything, in 2019, or 18. 19? 18?
Okay. So it was before
18 maybe.
things.
Yes, just before things.
Things happened.
Oh, I tell you,
I
really
slid out of there right on time.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell. I was like, I'm not ready to sell. And then as soon as COVID hit, I phoned my brother. I'm like, oh, do you believe it?
Right?
Oh, I don't know
yeah.
how difficult that would have been. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were still, like, even though we'd been in business for that long, we were still like kind of like a mom and pop operation, you know. We didn't have, you know, we didn't have the backup that a lot of bigger places would.
Right. Yeah, because you're independent.
Yes.
Which is beautiful. In one case,
Yes.
you can make your policies.
Yes.
As long as, who do you have to comply with when you are?
Oh boy.
There would be city rules and provincial rules.
Oh yeah. So I have to tell you that when we opened Rose's, there was like 17 different liquor licenses. I'm not even joking. There was
Really?
about 17 of them. Yep. And so we applied for a neighborhood pub license and we got it. But neighborhood pubs at that time could only have 125 people inside and like 25 people outside. Do you remember the size of Rose's? You could
so
blow
what did you do?
We got overcrowding warnings and overcrowding warnings, and we got shut down. And excuse me.
And not just by the fire department.
No, oh no, fire, liquor, police. So it's provincial, it's municipal, yeah, provincial and municipal, not federal, I don't think. But anyway, the liquor inspector at that time was such an awesome guy. And he was so kind, and he said, I'm gonna give you some advice. He said, apply for a hotel lounge license. You'll get more, you'll be able to fit more, more of a license or whatever.
More humans in the space.
More capacity, yes. Yep. And anyway, so we did, and so now we got 150 people inside. And I think it was like 56 people outside.
Okay, that's
and then
better
we kept
for your
getting
space.
better, but still, and it kept getting overcrowded, and we got shut down. And every time you get shut down, it doubles. The shutdown doubles. So if you get shut down for the first time for a day, the next time it's 2, then it's 4. And if
Does
you
it
get
reset at some point?
I have no
or just
idea.
keep accruing?
I don't know. I don't
know. How long did you get shut down for?
Well, then they changed the licensing.
Oh, good. Good.
I think the most we got shut down for was 4 days. Then they changed the licensing, so it was liquor primary. It went from all these different licenses to liquor primary and food primary. And then I think the wineries might have had some, I'm not sure. Anyway, so then what happened was they said, your capacity is what your square footage is. So we ended up with 195 people inside and about 125 people outside.
Oh, that's much better.
Much better.
Much better.
So we went, and so now there's only like 2 or 3 licenses instead of the 2,000.
2,000 licenses. Yeah, but and your office people were keeping track of this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Irene,
like who does this? Irene?
Irene was like a godsend. I am
Yes.
not kidding you. There is only, she's a twin. I was going to say there's only one Irene, but no. She's a twin.
That's fun.
But she is amazing, and she had been with us since for 24 years.
Wow. That's
Without her,
fantastic.
we couldn't have done it without her. We couldn't have done it without a lot of these people, honestly. My brother, I've been in business with my brother. I was in business with my brother from 1989 to when we sold, and we never had a fight. We got along.
Amazing.
I know. I know. It doesn't happen very often, and I still adore him. I hope he still adores me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Does he live nearby?
Yes, he just lives down here in the Lower Mission, and never see him.
Okay.
It's a good thing we work together.
Did or doing now?
No, we don't work together now.
Okay.
But we did.
All right.
For all those years.
So what are you up to now, these days?
Well, I walk Molly, and now I'm taking care of Hugo. So I walk the dog every morning, or dogs every morning. And then I go to yoga every morning.
Okay.
And the rest of the day is whatever come what may. Oh, I play my ukulele, making a little bit of Christmas stuff.
Sounds like vacation.
I know.
Yeah, sounds
you know
really
what,
fun.
Wendy, when people say to me, so what do you do now that you're retired? I say, anything I want.
Yeah.
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 I feel so blessed. Incredibly blessed.
Yeah, because hospitality would have been running you round the clock.
Well, it did for many years, but the last number of years I stepped back quite a bit. Once I delegated all the jobs, there really was not much for me to do other than, and I want to, that makes it sound like I delegated out. That's not how it happened. It just, once the jobs kind of were either taken away from me, kidding. But anyway, people took over the jobs, and everybody was doing such a fantastic job of everything they did. Little by little, I started stepping back. So really, a couple of years before we sold, I really didn't go to work that much.
Oh, okay. So you were already backing out.
Already backing up.
What would have been the least appropriate job for you to have not been? Okay, everything's delegated.
Yeah.
And if you were to take one back and say, this is what I want to do. And everyone would scream, no. What would that job be?
Schedule.
Schedule.
Nan, if you're watching this, she saved my life.
Nan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she did. I was the worst schedule maker in the world. And it was Nan, or somebody would come up and say, you've got too many girls on over here, and you don't have enough here, or you missed this day, or something. I mean, no, I never missed a day. I didn't miss a day, but she was so much better at it than me. She was great at it. I sucked, so.
Oh, that's
yeah,
fun.
she was really good at it. Yeah. That's what I say. You're only good as the people around you.
Oh, yeah.
And I think where some people kind of resist hiring people that they think are smarter than them or know more than them, but really, when we do that, it's for everybody's benefit.
Right, right. Yeah, the owner at Painted Rock was saying that. We had him in last season, and he was saying the secret to my success is hiring the people who are smarter than me.
Right. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I ever
a winery or a restaurant? There's so many moving parts.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been asking a couple questions of almost all of our guests. One of them is, so when you're by yourself and you put together a little snack that you really like, but you think nobody else in the world would like it, what are you eating?
Walnuts and those squeaky cheeses together in a bowl. I take a piece of squeezy cheese and put it next with the walnut, and I like to eat it like that.
Like a little squeezy sandwich?
Yeah, like a squeezy with the walnut. That's my nighttime snack.
I love that. That's pretty good. Renee's is lucky. No, I've tried it, and it's actually kind of satisfying. It's like whole grain toast.
Yeah.
And like it's got to be toasted crisp.
Yes.
And then you put peanut butter on it. And so the peanut butter is like warm and gooey. And then you slice longwise dill pickles. Yeah.
Dill pickles.
See, everybody gets that face. Whoa! But you should try it.
My son
It's
Paul
really great.
eats that. He likes pickles and
peanut butter?
Peanut butter.
Paul's, he knows what's
You know Paul?
happening. Nope.
He's the singer of the Hip Replacements.
Really? Really?
Yeah.
Didn't they just get some big award?
No.
Like, I thought they did.
That's no. You're probably thinking of Dirt Road Opera, maybe.
They're wonderful too.
Yeah. No.
Hip replacements. That's the funniest.
You know, they're a Tragically Hip
Yes,
cover
it
band,
is
right?
just
Yeah.
so
So he's the
good.
singer, and they're so good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's Jimmy Legoo and Dan Fogarty and Dave Mihal on
Okay.
drums, and every single one of them, like those musicians are,
Oh yeah.
they're the best.
Yeah, I've seen them here and there when they're playing out in town, and it's just a treat.
Yeah, they're great. They're really good. And Paul is like he's so good at what he does. He just blows my mind.
Huh. So how many kids do you have?
I have 3.
Oh, so there's Paul. He's singing.
Yeah. And
The other guys?
so my eldest, we didn't raise him. We gave
Okay.
him up for adoption
Oh, wow.
and met him when he was 24.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, so we met him. He came out and stayed for 8 years and then moved back to Calgary. So he is 55, and and then my son Paul, who lives not very far from me, he just turned 53. And you know what he does? Oh, Mike has a moving company in Calgary, and then Adam. He lives here. He's 50, and he has got licenses through Health Canada for hemp supplements. Like, so he does.
Yeah.
He does that kind of work.
Okay. Wow.
He's
They're busy.
like a scientist, and I never knew. I did not know that my kid was a scientist until
He started sciencing.
like about 10 years ago. It's like, who are you? Yeah.
Wow, isn't that fun? So having adult children, I think it's kind of like going to a movie. And you're just like, okay, what now?
Yeah, exactly.
What's going to happen? Oh boy.
Yeah. And then I've
Yeah.
got 5 grandkids.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Are you
2
counting the dogs?
No.
Okay.
I've got 2 that are 27. One's turning 27 in February, and then a 19-year-old. Is he 19 now? Yeah, I guess so. And a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old.
That seems like more than you said. How many?
5.
5.
Was that 5 or 6?
I don't
3,
know. There's
4,
so many.
or 3, 4, 6.
6. Okay.
5 boys, 1 girl.
And a dog.
And 2, yeah, and a dog, and a grand dog. Oh, and then I had grand dogs, other grand dogs.
Okay.
Remind me, if I remember, I'm going to show you a picture.
Oh.
So cute.
I want to see. I'm always into everybody's dogs.
Oh, they're so cute.
Yeah, we lost our dog a little while ago.
I'm
yeah,
so
Eva.
sorry. I'm so
I know.
sorry. I'm so
But
sorry.
I'm living vicariously through everybody else's.
She's
cute
waiting.
puppies.
She's like,
Hello.
I've been wanting attention. Look at her.
Oh yeah, there's a labradoodle right down here.
Golden,
And it's,
golden doodle.
oh, and it's
Golden.
giving us the face.
Yeah, like
That like head down, eyes up.
Can't you read my mind?
Yeah, I'm here for pets
That's
and
right.
dropping food.
That's right.
So speaking of food,
All right.
we're going to switch from restaurant life into you make good food.
Well, talk to my kids. They'll argue that.
Well, whenever I've been here, and then you introduced me to that really great Lebanese place
Yeah.
that we're going to visit again.
Did I introduce you?
You
or
did. No, I texted you and I was like, I want to figure out more about Mediterranean, specifically Lebanese food. And you said, oh, well, there's a new place.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So
There-
Habibi, we're going there in the new year.
Oh, cool.
We're going to see Bassem again. And
Oh, that's
I'm super
awesome.
excited about that. And then we went there together.
Yes, we did. With
And
Sharon.
you showed us how to order and what to do.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you bought lunch.
Hey.
You're so sweet.
Yeah, well, you're one of my favorite humans, so
Oh,
it was an
likewise,
honor.
darling.
Oh, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, we'll just have a love fest here now. Y'all go away. We're just gonna make food, and
Yeah.
she's gonna tell me how to deal with phyllo.
Phyllo or phyllo,
Phyllo.
you know, tomato,
Yeah.
tomato. Depends on where you come from.
Knock it into the comments. How do you pronounce this word? Yeah, I think it's probably one of those words that's regional,
Yes.
like how you say it.
Yes.
Have
Like
you
a-
heard a really bad way of saying it?
No.
Well, me neither, but I bet there are.
Maybe phyllo or.
Filler or follow, fire,
Whatever,
follow,
yeah.
I keep realizing that when I mutter, I have a mic on.
Yeah, that's,
can't
I
just
keep
be-
touching mine.
I can't be just saying things on the sly. You know,
Oh, I get it.
she hears me, everything I say. She's nodding. All right, so why don't we bring the parts of, first of all, what are we making?
Baklava.
Baklava. And
And you say it batlawi in Arabic.
how?
Batlawi.
Break that down.
Batlawi.
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 Yeah.
It's got kind of a
batlawi.
diphthong vowel in there.
Yeah, batlawi.
Batlawi.
And that again is probably
Batlawi.
depending on where you're from, they probably say it differently. But where I'm from, they say batlawi.
I'll go with you. Batlawi. 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 Batlawi.
Close.
I feel like I'm murdering it more every time.
Stick with the baklava.
Baklava.
Yeah.
And baklava or baklava?
Baklava. See, there you
Yeah.
go. Depends on where you're from.
Yeah, I've heard it both ways, and I
Yeah.
don't know if there's an authoritative.
Don't know.
Bassem, help us. He will set us straight. All right, so what are the parts? We have
We've got
phyllo.
phyllo.
So we're going to
Okay.
be
So the phyllo
here, okay.
is oops. The phyllo will be over here, and are you going to just hand it to me like that, kind of?
Sure,
Oh.
yeah. Okay,
Okay.
here it is. Well, look at that.
You're so smart. Okay, so then I just do this.
Yeah, I'm just going to push that
Yeah.
back a bit.
Yep. Yeah, this
Okay.
phyllo is not, sometimes can be really picky, finicky. That's why you can see where if it froze and then you refroze it, how
Oh, yeah.
it just isn't the best.
It would be
So,
shattering in there.
Yes, it does shatter.
Okay.
You are so
So
right.
it looks like, right now, if you can't see it live, it looks like a bunch of parchment paper. It's just really thin vellum sitting on top of each other, and she's sort of teasing them apart. It's got one big fold in it. Now
Yes.
she's doing the big unfold.
That's very good, Wendy.
Well,
That's
thank
exactly
you.
right.
I am the described potty out.
You're very good. Okay, so then to keep it, because it's so thin, it'll turn into chips if we're not careful. So you just take a wet tea towel and put it on top.
Okay.
And then, so now we're gonna, so we've buttered the pan, and so we're gonna take a couple of sheets, and we will put them, oops, see how it's really funny, picky. From here, one.
So if you can't see it,
Can you see?
I'll just hold it up for a second.
Okay.
Like so. So it's there and flipped over that way. And then it's just sitting in here in this pan. It actually fits really nicely. And
Yeah.
now you've buttered that one?
I'm going to
Oh,
butter.
okay.
Now I'm going to put, so I
So
put
it's
2
essentially
sheets in.
4
I
layers in there.
folded them. Yeah. Like it would be nice to have a pan this size,
Oh, okay.
but I don't.
So ideally, they would be
Ideally, it would be nice to have
1 or 2 at a time?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And so then can you see?
yeah.
Did I move everything?
I don't know.
Then you just start buttering.
Yeah. Okay, so she's just dabbing the butter in. If you take big swipes at it, it bunches up your pastry, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so she's kind of weighting down parts of it with little pools of butter. and
Pools
then
of butter.
swimming it around.
Yes.
This is very buttery food.
This is very fattening.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to eat this instead of your 3 meals a day.
Uh-huh. This is one
kidding.
piece of baklava and that's it.
Yes, 75,000 calories.
But it's Christmas.
It is Christmas. All Christmas baking is butter and
Oh my
sugar,
goodness,
isn't
yes.
it?
Yeah. I think that's why it makes us feel so happy and homey.
Yeah, and this
Kind
is
of wired for this kind of thing.
my mother used to make baklava for everybody.
Your mom was an amazing baker, though, wasn't
Yes, she was amazing.
she? Yeah.
See how they stick
Oh,
together?
it is sticky. Okay, so when your sheets of phyllo stick together, don't freak out and just
No,
give it a
just
little tiny little
very
tug with it.
gentle.
She did it was like tug, 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 tug,
Yeah.
tug, tug, tug. Yeah, very gently. Kind of
Very
like
gently.
taking the knots out of a preschooler's hair.
Yeah, that's very good.
Yes.
And you always have to put the wet towel back on
Okay.
your.
What if your pastry does dry out in between? What if I forget?
You know, I think if you just do that, it'll bring it back.
Oh, okay.
Because I know, like with Lebanese bread, if it ever sat out, my mom would just like sprinkle it with water and put a towel on it,
Oh, wow.
and it just spruces back up.
Okay. All right. I've seen people run like a loaf of French bread under the tap
Yeah.
and throw it into a hot oven, and it does work.
It does, yeah.
It
And
seems pretty
paper
brutal,
bag.
but it works. Oh, yeah.
Wet a paper bag. I remember if you have hard buns or whatever, you wet a paper bag and stick that in the oven for just a little bit, or with your buns.
Have you ever had an oven fire?
No.
No, me neither. I don't ever want one, but I'm
No.
thinking a bag in the oven could be
Yeah,
the
but
start of that story.
Yeah, yeah, right. I think it has to be really wet. I think. I've never tried it.
Wrap your buns in asbestos and put them in the oven. She didn't say that. Renee's giving me a horrible face. It's like, no, there's no market for asbestos buns anywhere.
Well, that one turned out nice too.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here. Look how smooth.
Oh yeah, you set the stove or the oven at 300.
The oven's hot. So did you get that? 300. 300.
So in with the not the butter, the syrup, you add lemon juice and a little bit of orange flower, orange blossom Orange blossom. I'll get it for you and I'll show it to you.
Good, because I don't have a clue what you're talking about. Where do you get this orange blossom stuff?
Probably Superstore has like the
Oh, yeah.
ethnic section there.
And what about like Mediterranean market? Or
Oh,
something like
probably,
that?
yeah. And Valarosa or anybody that sells like the Mediterranean type foods, because I really don't know if it's ever used for anything other than.
Huh. Is there a large Mediterranean community in Kelowna?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the original people here are the Saloms. Look at this. You've heard of the Saloms? Well, this is Mary Salome, who is a cousin of the local Saloms.
Huh.
And see, there's another way. Do you pronounce it Salome or do you pronounce it Saloom?
Or Salom.
Or what? See? Anyway, they are some of the original. They've been here forever, and they're Lebanese. And the Abagushes. I don't know if you know the
That is
Abagushes.
a very familiar name. Why is it familiar?
Gordy, I always call him the mayor of Rutland because everybody knows Gordy, and he had Boyd's Auto Body forever.
Oh, okay.
And Gordy's only one of like, I don't know, 10 or 11 kids or something. So they've been here forever. And you know what? When we first moved here, my mom came to visit, and so we decided we'd look and see if there was anywhere where we could buy ingredients for Lebanese food. And we saw this Salem's Market. So we went to Salem's Market. It was down on Highway 33 in with a service station, but it was a little store with a service station. Anyway, we walked in, and this guy comes out from the back, and he looks at my mom and he says, "I haven't seen you since you were 10 years old." Do you believe it? That was
Wow.
Gordy's dad. Everybody loved him
Wow.
too. And Gordy's mom's still alive. She's 100 and something.
Wow.
Can you imagine having all
Okay.
those kids and still being able to walk? Jeez.
You'd have like Barbie hips that can just pop off.
She's amazing. Okay, now we're
Okay.
going to take this
All right,
mixture.
our mixture of nuts and sugar.
Yeah, and we just put that on top. And so that's our,
Okay, that's the nutty bit in the
that's
middle.
the nutty and sugar, more sugar. Just in case we didn't get enough fattening stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, you clearly don't eat like this all the time.
No.
What do you, like, do you eat Mediterranean diet? Like, do you,
I have to tell you, I'm a vegetarian
Uh-huh.
that hardly eats any greens.
Oh, wow.
Terrible, terrible.
You just don't like them?
I like iceberg lettuce and I like romaine lettuce. Can't stand spinach, can't stand kale, can't stand.
no.
I OD'd on so many green things that, but
Wow.
I know, isn't that awful?
Good thing I didn't bring her those homemade kale chips.
Oh, I got into kale chips.
Oh, did you?
Oh my gosh, I was going to sell them for a while.
Oh, of course you were.
Oh, they were so good.
Mine.
If you ever want the recipe, it's so good. Oh
Next
my
time,
gosh.
yeah. 'Cause
Oh, it's the best.
I was kidding because mine are awful.
No, I'll send you the recipe. It's so
What's the secret?
delicious. Massaging the kale. You have to
Wow.
massage your kale. You massage it. You make the dressing, which the dressing I make is so delicious. Wait till you taste it. It's so good. You make the dressing, and then you put it in with the kale.
Okay.
You massage it. That's the trick, is you really have to massage the dressing into the kale.
Can I massage it in a bag with a rolling pin?
I don't know. I've never tried it, but maybe.
I'm not opposed to massaging kale.
No,
That's fine.
because kale, you can carry water in it. It's
Right, yeah.
It's so dense.
Yeah,
and
it's very firm and fibrous.
yeah. So when you massage it, you're massaging all the flavor of the dressing into it, and it just makes such a difference.
Okay. Well, I didn't do that with my failed attempt, so
I did. I
seems
really,
like a good
I
option.
really did get into. I did even sell some of my kale chips because they're so good. You wouldn't believe how
Were
good
you
they are.
selling them at the restaurant?
I was selling them to friends.
You can see you on the corner, like in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Psst, kid, buy
Hey.
some kale chips.
Throw your hot dog out. Eat these instead.
It's not even meat.
Yeah. Oh, they were good. They got everything good in them. They're just delicious. They're not. But you know, also kale chips with just some oil and salt is really good.
See, that's what I've been trying, and they come out very bitter.
Oh.
And very, they fragment so easily.
Oh.
Am I overcooking them?
I don't know, honey.
I don't know.
I use a dehydrator. I have dehydrators.
Oh, I've got one.
That's what I use.
Okay.
Look
Oh,
at
well,
that,
maybe-
how perfect that is. See that?
She keeps having the most perfect little folds.
My mom, this is my mom's here. My mom's here, she's helping me out. She's like, here, let me do that. I always say thanks to her when things work out, because I know that means that she's been here watching over me.
How long does this stay in the oven?
I think it's an hour.
Wow. That's a commitment.
Yes, it is an hour, actually. I remember, yes.
So you'll need to take a couple of pictures of it when it's done and
I
send it to
will,
us.
and then can I bring you some to try?
Oh, that's a possibility. Renee's nodding her head. Oh, yes, yes.
Awesome. This is perfect because I've got Christmas parties to go to, so
Oh, wow.
I can always take some baklava.
Yeah, they'll be so happy to get that.
hope-
So,
I know it'll taste delicious. I don't know if it'll look as pretty as my mom's, but
well,
it'll taste really good.
if no one saw your mom's before, they will just assume this is the standard.
And it's going to taste the same as hers. Hers was
you go.
delicious. The best of everything.
Best of the best.
She was the best.
So how old were you when you came to Canada?
4.
4. And have you been back to Lebanon since then?
Once in 1998. Thank you.
You're welcome.
1998, I went back one. It was
Okay.
amazing. So we came. My dad and I came to Canada in 1956, April of 1956, and he didn't know if he was going to really like it here. So he thought, well, plus we just didn't have the money for my mom and my brother and sister to come too. So anyway, my dad and I came, and a year later, he sent for my mom and my brother and my sister. So then they came in 1957, April, same month. And then 2 years later, May, he died. See, I brought his old gravestone here. I parked it in see it?
Oh my goodness.
Because when my mom passed away, we got a new stone for the two of them. And I said to my brothers, what's going to happen to that one?
Yeah.
And they said, I don't know, probably just it'll go to the dump.
Oh, no.
And I said, no, it won't.
Oh, that seems
I've got
wrong.
lots of room in my house, and I can put
Yeah.
it somewhere where I'm the only one that really is going to see it. So, so they met, 2 brothers, one that lives here, my old partner brother, and brother in Calgary, met halfway and at another brother's place in Creston, and my brother brought me our dad's gravestone.
Are your brothers older than you?
No, I'm the eldest.
Oh, okay.
So I was 7 when my dad passed away. And the brothers that met to bring this to me, one brother was 1 year and 4 months old, and the other brother was 4 months old.
Oh my goodness, your poor mom.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a lot of trauma for a young family.
Oh, when I think about PTSD, I think my mother had it. She had me at there was me at 7. My brother was 5, my sister is 3, and then a brother that's a year and 4 months, and a brother that's 4 months. She didn't even hardly speak English. She'd only been here for 2 years.
Oh, wow.
She really something else, that woman.
Yeah. And what had been going on in Lebanon when you left? There's always something going on. in
Well,
Lebanon.
I don't remember any of that, but Lebanon's always like, you know, the Ottoman went through there. I think the most peaceful time they've had was when the French, I don't know what it's called, when the French was took over there, were over there as peacekeepers or whatever they were doing.
Right.
I think that was the most peaceful that Lebanon has been. They're in a big mess now.
Yeah, yeah. Is French one of the official languages?
Yes. So just about everybody there that is educated is fluent in French.
I read somewhere that in Lebanon, language use is used to establish what social group you're in.
Oh,
Like the Frenchies are the educated group or something like that. Is that something that you would have?
I don't know. I really have no idea. But it's funny because people always talk about the religious wars and stuff, but nobody thinks that that's the name of their political parties.
Right.
So it's not like you're.
It's not religion. It's
That's
politics.
the name. Exactly. So
Right.
it's.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Anyway, God love them. God help them all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard not, because we're a kind of a food and people show, not to drift into politics
No.
at this point. But
I know.
I think we need to stay away from that. Though privately, I have so many questions all the time.
Yeah, I know, honey. Okay, this is the
Well,
last piece,
we're on our
and it's not
very-
going to look as pretty because it was the last.
Well, it seems to have had some struggle in its life.
Yeah. It's okay. We're going to love you anyway.
We're going to cover you in butter.
Yeah.
That's what love is.
Yeah.
Come to my house. I'll cover you in butter.
That's right.
And then I'll bulk at massaging kale.
Yeah.
I have no sense of proportion.
It's okay. You're good. This seems to be. I could use a bigger pot. I'm going to look for a bigger size pan. That makes so much. To make it so much easier.
I don't know. For this, it's really good though, because I think all of us have a 9x13 pan somewhere
I know.
in our
like,
house.
Like who has a whatever that was 14? I can't remember what the size of the pan
It's
is. Like,
just
whoa,
giant.
that's
giant.
giant.
ones. Yeah.
Where would I put it? Wouldn't even have room for it. So I guess
A lot of cupboards.
Hey?
I was like, where would you put it?
Oh, honey, every cupboard's got too much stuff in it.
Oh, I understand. I have dreams sometimes that I find a cupboard in my kitchen that doesn't have anything in it.
Really?
Wouldn't that be like a really exciting thing?
Well, you know, I like that. That's kind of my goal.
Make space.
Yes, you know, I'm going to tell my kids this year. We don't buy each other. Well, I give them all money, but I don't buy it. Nobody buys for anybody really, other than the little kids. I give my older grandkids money. But I'm going to say for Christmas this year, what I would like is for you guys to come and spend a day so I clean out my basement and my garage.
Ooh, that's nice.
As a mom at this age, what do you
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
I'm trying to clear stuff out. I wanted to spend time with my kids. And then we can say, and then I can say, because my mom did the same thing, come and get what you want.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go get a knife.
Okay. Oh, what are we doing?
Then you cut it.
Oh, I had no idea.
And I used a really crappy knife last time, so I'll try and use a better knife this time.
Now we're done to cut things.
How's this one? I should really sharpen them. That would be really awesome. So then you kind of do this. Not kind of, you actually do it.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's making diagonal cuts that go all the way through every layer of pastry from one corner to the other.
Yes.
Right through all those walnuts. You can kind of hear them. A walnut protest.
That's right. Try not to be like Michelangelo and make them bigger as I get closer to the end. Did you know that? That's what he did in the Sistine Chapel.
Really?
Yep. If you look at, if you're ever there, and you look up, you'll see where he started, and the figures are like this big.
Okay.
And where he ended, the figures are like.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Do you think it's for perspective, or do you think he was just done with
He was
the
done.
project?
He didn't even want to do it anyway. He was, you know, he was pretty much, I guess, ordered to do it. I don't know. Anyway, he really didn't want to do it. Can you imagine painting on your back?
No.
Like.
No, no. I don't like going up on things.
Yeah.
If I'm standing on a chair, I'm very insecure.
And do you know who told, where I heard that was when I was there was a priest, a young priest, and he was with his dad. And he was American or Canadian or something, but he was he showed that to his dad, and it wasn't even our tour guide that brought it up. So then that's what made me look up and go, "You're right."
Wow. Okay, so the whole thing is in diagonal strips.
And then I'm going to cut it the other way too.
Oh, so it gets cut both ways.
Yeah.
I think this would be the most challenging.
Yes, because
They all want to wiggle, don't they?
Yes, they do.
All right. So I guess that's how the syrup gets in?
No, so then you cook it, and once it comes out of the oven and it's still really hot, then you pour the syrup on top.
Oh.
And it just, because remember, there's only a half a cup of sugar in this.
That's right. So without the syrup, it isn't that sweet.
No.
Okay. This is so interesting. I've never seen this done.
Oh! I wanted to ask you something. Is it okay to ask you something?
Well, I don't know. What's
Okay,
the
I'll wait
topic?
until, okay. About perhaps talking to another person about this, what you're doing. Suggesting another person that.
Oh, you can suggest
Okay,
that. Sure.
Betty.
Betty.
Betty, the Lebanese caterer.
Whoa.
Do you know what? She's so freaking brilliant, that girl. I have to tell you.
Betty the Lebanese. You'll have to give me
Lebanese
Betty's contact
Lebanese
information.
food caterer. And so what she did, she's like, I love smart women. I love smart everybody, but it's so cool when somebody is. Anyway, she bought a building and opened up a commercial type kitchen so that
Okay.
other caterers, because you cannot cater unless you have a proper kitchen.
So smart. Yes.
She's so smart. Oh. Okay, now this goes in
Okay.
for an hour.
For an hour.
Whoops.
Okay.
Oh, look at Rose. That's pretty clever. I wonder who put the racks in for me.
Nothing to see back there.
Okay.
Crooked racks. I just ratted out my friend.
Did you just wrap me out?
Yeah, no, certainly not. Why would I ever?
All right.
Okay, so baklava, what else do you make when you're on your own and you just want something very nice?
Okay, so when I make myself a meal, it's always Lebanese food.
Okay.
So I make, one of my favorites is lentils. So I soak the lentils a lot, soak and rinse for about a day, soak and rinse many times. And it used, like how my mom made it, she's always added bulgur to it. But as time goes, my guts are not digesting,
bulgur.
no, or wheat.
Okay.
So I just make it plain. I saute onions, I cook the lentils, and then you can always add vegetables. So that's a good way of sneaking in some spinach. And then you can make like a dish of rice on the side, or or whatever, or make it thick into like a thicker kind of meal with bread. See, I'd give up the bulgur, but can't give up the bread.
Oh, yeah.
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, really good bread is hard to walk
Really
away
good
from.
bread is hard. So I eat that, and then I make garbanzo beans. Like I have dried garbanzo beans, so I soak them, and I soak them and rinse and soak and rinse. And then sometimes I just cook them and just eat them.
Have you tried roasting them with like spices?
I haven't, but you can buy those too.
Yes, I've seen them. I'm wondering.
Yeah, they're really good. Yeah, there's all
If we could make them
different.
better at home.
Oh, you probably can.
I bet you can.
Google has everything.
Google that.
Yeah.
Then you will know.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are we? Okay. Okay, so recommendations for where would you recommend in Kelowna, Penticton, in this zone, if somebody's coming to visit over here, where should they go for food or for fun? What are the fun and food places?
Well, from what I've been told, B&A is a great place.
Yes, I've heard that.
And, you probably know this, but the same people own Skinny Dukes and Bernie's on Bernard or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
really different concepts.
And Snowshoe Sam's now.
Where's that?
Up at Big White.
Oh, Big White.
And you know what's so funny? When we bought the bar up at Big White, it was called McCullough on the Mountain.
Okay.
And we bought it off of Kyle's dad, Jim Nixon. And at one time, Jim Nixon owned Snowshoe Sam, so Kyle
my
went back to,
Oh,
Isn't that
wow.
crazy?
Everything goes in little circles, doesn't it?
Yes.
All right, so you'd go down there.
Go there.
What are you going to do for fun?
Well, it kind of depends on what age you are and what is
Okay.
fun for you. Like, I mean,
right.
for me, I'm kind of like Jamie Lee Curtis. I'm into matinees now. I really am. And as a matter of fact, my friend Anna Jackson, she had a gig at Creekside, and I'm like,
Oh, that's
what
how
about
you
a
say her last
matinee?
name.
Yeah. So she's actually maybe going to talk to Bernie's about doing a matinee show upstairs there in the theater room.
That'd be amazing.
I think so too, and there's lots of people like me. I'm not the only one that just wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to sort of chill in the evening and go to sleep before 1.
And you know, like Dunenzi's down here, they have music. Like there's so many great places now.
Yeah,
that
right
are,
on the corner.
Yeah, right down. I love my neighborhood. I love things in my
yes.
neighborhood.
I love that big tree outside.
I know.
Yeah. If
I
anything
love
happened to that big tree.
They honor that tree, those girls. They do. I see Deb at the dog park all the time, and they're good people.
Good people.
Yeah, they're
Well,
good people.
If you're good to a tree.
Yeah,
that's good.
and there's, you know, like, something's always going on in this town.
There is.
If
yes.
people come here and say there's nothing to do,
Yeah.
they're just not looking.
That's
or Red Brew, or no, what's it called?
Redbird.
Redbird.
Yeah.
I've never been there, but I'm gonna go. Or what
Lots
about
of
that new place
music.
that opened, Renegades or whatever it's called, or not Renegades?
That's
Not Renegades. I haven't been.
Jackknife?
No, it's right on Ellis.
okay.
Not Renegades. What's it called? You know.
We'll look for it in the comments
Okay, thank you.
because I don't.
It just opened.
Just
And
open.
it's like 500 people or something.
Oh, yes.
Not Renegade. It starts with an R, I think.
Revelry.
Revelry.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's
My
it.
son has been playing there a lot.
Has he?
Yeah. So
Who does he play with?
himself.
Oh.
Um,
Oh, that didn't sound quite right.
and people pay to watch. more to listen, really. It's a,
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know, and like look at what the Kelowna Actors Studio keeps bringing. Now they're bringing in other shows. You know,
Oh,
they're,
yeah.
They're using their space. I think that's really awesome.
I just got tickets for Tootsie.
Did you?
You gonna go?
I asked I had season ticket this year for my granddaughter and I. We just went to Wizard of Oz, and we looked through next year, and she wasn't really that excited about any of them.
Yeah.
So I haven't got tickets, but I'm going to get tickets for her and I for Mamma Mia for sure.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Anna's in that too.
Oh, very good. Very good.
And
Do you know what she's playing?
I'm gonna guess she plays the no.
The mom? I
I don't know. I thought she was gonna play the lead, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
The ingenue lead?
I don't
or the
know.
mom
Don't
lead?
really know.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Cher was going to be in the second one until I was at the movie theater.
Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Yeah. And the way that she's presented.
Oh, it's awesome.
So
Loved
cool.
it. Loved it.
Well, I'm just wondering, when we were setting up your kitchen for doing this, we moved your ukulele off to the side. I was wondering if, just in the last couple minutes of our show, if you would serenade us out.
I'd be honored.
Ding, 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 ding.
Honored.
All right. So I'll bring you music and set it down here, and you grab your.
Can I use my
box?
music stand?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so. Let's look at behind it.
It doesn't have anything.
Oh yeah, we're fine. Okay. Dun, da, da. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Can I sit?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You can do whatever you want. This
Thank
is your
you.
house.
Thank you very much. I
Need a place to put your
yeah, I
uke?
need a place to put my uke on my leg.
Uke at it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Have a great day. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you, Wendy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, folks.